Everybody. It certainly has been a lively day at St James's Park today with the news of Alexander Isak being the next man through the door. He's completed his medical. We still don't have any confirmation from the club yet, so that could come when we're live, or it will probably be tomorrow, as it usually is with Newcastle United. But we will be talking about him a little bit tonight and what he'll bring to the side. And also, of course, the build-up to the Wolves game, which is a very exciting game. Given where we were this time last year when we played Wolves, things are very, very different tonight. And we have a special guest in tonight covering for Danielle. It's her partner, Lee, so we'll be very glad to have Lee on. Alex, unfortunately, can't make the show, but it'll be the 3 degrees instead of the 4 Musketeers. But here we go. This is the Toon Review match preview. Yes, good evening, one and all, and it is Thursday night, and it is match preview with Billy Bob Coleman and Lee. Welcome to the Toon Review, covering for your partner Danielle tonight. Got a permission to come on, and how are you doing?
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
And more so, everybody will be wondering how Danielle's doing, of course.
Yeah, she's doing brilliant. Yeah, she's getting by. She's doing really well. She's keeping her chin up. Yeah,
good. Now, busy day today, Billy. Lots going on at St James's Park. I don't know whether you've paid any attention to it. It seems to have been a busy day with Mr. Isak coming in. Somebody who is, we're very, very excited about, of course, and he'll bring a lot to Newcastle United. But we're all expecting an announcement, but it'll probably be tomorrow now. They don't normally announce the players this late on an evening. But excellent signing for you, Billy.
Yeah, we need a striker, and he's one of the best young strikers in Europe. So absolutely fantastic signing. And he'll cover a lot of bases in one go because he's the type of player that can create his own chances. He can run the channels. He's a big lad as well. He scores box goals, fox in the box, quick, tall, strong. Yeah, what's not to like about that? I think it's going to be a perfect signing for us.
And I think, Lee, people are focusing on, his poor goal record last season. But if you look at overall, this guy is a quality football player.
Do you know what it is? We've all looked at his record. We've all had a little look. He's 6'4". Some of his goals that were shown after the Tranmere match last night. There was one that hit the top corner. So he doesn't just get goals in the box. He scores outside the box as well. So that's something I didn't know until last night. So he's 6'4". We've got one striker. We haven't got two. Wood's not a striker. But yeah, maybe a little bit later on we'll get into that one.
Yeah. And Billy, I think nobody saw this Isak coming. Again, it's another one that has just appeared from nowhere. Nobody saw him coming. Obviously, he was linked with us earlier on. He was linked with us back in January, to be honest, and then linked with us through the summer a couple of times, but nothing really came of it because of the fee they were asking. And, of course, Isak's wages, now we believe that he's taken a wage drop to come to the Premier League. But of course, that will be made up again with bonuses, etc. So you won't be losing any money. You'll just be making it up in bonuses and signing on and things like that. But again, it's one of these that was kept quiet and then bang.
Yeah, so as you say, we were linked with him until we found his release clause was too high for what we thought we could pay at the time. And then he went totally under the radar, totally forgotten about for a good 4 or 5 weeks. And then one fine day, and he's on his way in, and no one saw it coming. All the people can claim they did, but they didn't. No one saw it coming. As usual, Newcastle United doing their business in private, not out in the open, and no kind of pioneers can listen to and make out they knew what they were talking about when they didn't.
Yeah, and again, I'm seeing people in the chat going on about Paqueta. Listen, I don't know what this is, right? 99% of people have not seen Paqueta even kick a football, yet they're saying, because he's Bruno's best mate, let's get him in. Now, we saw Tim Vickery earlier on today was talking about Paqueta and said that maybe it's because, there's a question mark about his attitude and all-round play. He's not this player that a lot of fans think he is, Lee. Just let it go, man.
I mean, being honest, the only team I've watched in France play is PSG, and that's highlights. Do you know what I mean? It's a fan link. I was talking to somebody today. It's a fan link. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's Bruno's best friend. We're in love with Bruno. That's all it's come from. And don't get me wrong, who wouldn't like to see Paqueta wear the black and white shirt? But it's not happening. We're not forking out £58 million for Isak and another £60 million what Sky Sports are talking about that West Ham have had rejected already. So it's not going to happen. It isn't happening.
Yeah, the deal is well and truly off with West Ham, apparently. But look, we're spending this kind of money on Isak. No one knows what's happening with Pedro yet either. We don't know what the crack is with that. If we're led to believe what Romano said last week, the deal was agreed. It was all done. Now, what the hold up with that is, I don't know. But if we do end up getting Pedro and Isak, then that's, for me, fantastic. Now, that's not to say, like Lee's just said, if we do then make a move for Paqueta, it could be deadline day. It could be something like that. By the way, we are live from 10 a.m. on deadline day all the way through. So be with us for most of that, guys. But just leave it for now. Let's just see who they bring in. It is fan-led. There's no doubt about that. And it's in the no-led, which just shouldn't be. Zishan, thank you for your $8.99 super chat. Evening, peeps. Wasn't it Luke Edwards that said we only have a budget of 60 million? All these journalists and haters haven't got a clue about our wonderful club. Isak will be class. Well said. Well, if you pay any attention to what Luke Edwards says, when you need to see a doctor, because that man has Newcastle hatred through his blood. No doubt about that. Macon with Master says, why Isak is here? He is indeed. Hopefully. Let's just wait, until he's officially announced, and then we can, obviously, we will do a show about him as well, like we did with Botman. Pedro says, good evening, you beautiful bunch of people, and Billy. Only joking, love yous all. Good evening, James. Louis in the house. Excuse me. Pedro says, welcome, Lee, to the Toon Review family. Spike says, hope Daniel's okay. Give my best. Nice one, Lisa Spacebar. Hi, Paul. Did you like the tweet I tagged you in with Isak's bodyguard? Yes, you cheeky twat. I saw that. Isak's bodyguard. He put a tweet out saying that if Stato and Paul had a love child, he would look like that. So thank you very much for that. Yeah. Alvin, good evening. Michael, evening. David, good evening. Stu says, yo, Billy, Paul, Billy, and Lee. Hopefully we can batter Watford at the weekend. Well, it's not Watford we're playing, so it's actually Wolves. You've had a Pistorius, Stu. Is that a homemade UV tea?
Homemade, yeah.
There you go. Hi, all. News on the transfer front as I'm at work. Well, just Isak at the minute. Of course, we know the medical's been completed. What they probably do now, I would imagine, Billy, is all they're doing is getting the commercial stuff out the way, like photographs and interviews with NUFC TV and that kind of thing out the way, so that when they do announce it, probably tomorrow, it's all ready to go, isn't it?
Yeah, they've got to get them done before noon so it can be registered to play on Sunday. So I imagine an early morning statement will come. Mate, it might come tonight. I mean, the Botman one came about this time, didn't it? So
yeah,
it's not overdone with yet.
Yeah, I don't think he'll start on Sunday. I've seen a few people putting him in the starting lineup. I find it very, very doubtful that he'll start. Listen, he might, but knowing how Eddie Howe blends these players in,
exactly.
The bench, Lee, is probably going to be the best place to start him.
It is, but it's got to be the bench. I mean, look how long it took Bruno to come into the team, and everyone was going, "Oh, you signed this expensive player." I just hope people keep it cool. I hope people don't get flustered. Why is he not starting? We know players don't start straight away, and look how they end up when they do start. Look at Bruno now. Look at Joe Linton starting in midfield now, and he didn't start him all the time.
Yeah, he didn't, and I think that we need to take that into account. Shane thinks he will. How should shoehorn him into the team, but Just the way Eddie's behaved in the past. It'd be interesting to see what he says in the morning for his, during his press conference.
I can see him bringing him on.
I can see him bringing him on. Yeah. It all depends on how the game's going, of course, as well. Mike says, looking beautifully, just making you feel comfortable and what it feels like for Danielle. Hope she is well. Pedro says, just shows how quick the Toon can move. Watch this space. Still more surprises to come. Of course, he's playing with better players now as well, is Isak. That's a big point, Billy. He'll thrive on playing with Maxi, Bruno, Joe Linton, these kind of players. And obviously, the one have had any training to work with before Sunday, so it's all going to come in time, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if he gets one training session in, he'll be lucky. It'll be tomorrow if he does get one in. So I imagine he'll be on the bench. But I mean, if anything wrong with Chris Wood, I mean, if he had a little bit of a knock yesterday, a bit of a strain or whatever, he'll have to play, won't he? Let's be honest.
Yeah, he will be. Wacky says, even though Isak will bring a lot of mobility to the Toon. The thing is as well about Isak, he's very pacey, he's quick, but he's not injury prone as well. And it also takes the weight off Callum Wilson. So when Callum does eventually get these knocks that he's prone to, Lee, we've got somebody to step in there.
Well, yeah, we've got more players to step in now. We need this really bad. The question is, when Wilson's not playing and when he is injured, Isak's playing in form, where does Wilson get back in? He's going to have to fight for his way back into the squad. And that's something we've been missing for a long time. Competition.
Yeah, exactly. It's competition. And, for me, they're spending 58 million quid on Isak. He's not there to sit on the bench. No way. So whether he gets back, when Callum's back, he moves Isak to the right-hand side. We know he can play from outside cutting in. We've seen many, many goals from Isak from that point of view. Ryan says, I wonder what Marino had to say about Newcastle Isak. Well, the way Marino has been talking about Newcastle in the press, certainly over the last 12 months, he's come out with various quotes. I think it's just good things he'll have had to say, which will have helped. Rossi says, club doing great business that actually no one knows what the hell is happening. Best way to do business. He was on 36k in Spain. Will be on 100 to 120k here. I think he was on a bit more than that, but who cares? Even in all the mods here for a fantastic show. And can't believe Isak is happening. Such a top European talent and could be a legend if he plays here, as he can be. Indeed. Les H, welcome to the Members Club, my friend. Thank you for becoming a member of the family. Welcome. Stephen says, good evening, Paul and Billy and everyone. Hope you are all well. Exciting times when Isak through the door. Whoever the rat was leaking information to the press must be gone now. Yes, he is.
He must have blew away in a gale.
It's a very strong breeze, Billy, I would say, yeah. Ian Fleming, thank you very much for your £10 super chat. It says, hi, guys. Can't believe the Chronicle gave Paul Dummett 8 out of 10 last night. Must have been watching a different game. Listen, I often have to question what Lee Ryder sees on the football pitch sometimes. I really do, because, when he announces his player ratings, I find them fantastically bizarre. And an 8 out of 10 for Dummett. Mental is the word I'd use for that. Troll says, the same will happen with Paqueta. Watch Paul ranting in a second. Trolls, don't wind me up, man. Don't wind me up. Simon says, Toon are fine with FFP. We could spend 500 million and we still be okay after the 3 years. No problem. Yeah, listen, one thing Simon Jordan does know about is FFP, right? I will give him that. And he spoke a lot of sense this morning on FFP and said that Newcastle United could spend that kind of money without being a problem. Now, they're not going to, because they want to have money to spend in future transfer windows. So they're not going to blow it all. And then when the new sponsors kick in, we're going to have that, we're going to have more incoming, which raises the FFP. So we'll be fine. Cesare says, I think we deliberately left the biggest signing until late in the window to hide how much we're actually willing to spend. I don't think it was a reaction to Wilson's injury. Thoughts? I don't think it was a reaction. I've heard a lot of people saying that it was a reaction and it's a bit of a panic. I completely disagree with that. What's to say this Isak deal hasn't been going on for 2-3 weeks? And then because I believe Dan Ashworth was already due to fly out to Spain before Sunday's game. So that puts to bed any, talking about Wilson's injury, because he was going to Spain anyway. So I suggest that this Isak deal had been in the pipeline. But again, because it's so quiet at the club with regards to giving any information away, any leaks, etc., that has happened because of that, because it's been so quiet. But because Wilson got injured and they put 2 and 2 together. I mean, Lee, it looks like Wilson's out for 4 weeks.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate, but what better timing than doing this? I kind of think it might be an emergency signing as well, though.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they were probably trying to get him for less money, and now I think they've given in a little bit because we don't want to go to the last day. As much as it's exciting,
I'd agree with that bit. I would agree with that bit, saying that about the price that has the Wilson injury has maybe forced our hand to go and pay what they want. But the negotiation for Isak has maybe gone on for a while now. But that injury, you're right what you say. With Wilson getting injured, we've just turned around and said, right, we're going to have to pay what they want, guys. We want this player. It's clear they want him, but as with anything that we've done in the summer, the price is very important.
Got a hell of a lot of potential, hasn't he? So
absolutely. Paul says, good evening, Paul and Billy. Great to see Isak sign for Newcastle United. Hope he plays on Sunday. I still think we need Pedro, says Gary. I heard we linked to Marin Terrier, just a rumour. We'll link to every bugger. Evening all, hope you're okay. Isak, a good signing. Julie says the hold-up was rumoured to be the Skip Rats hijacking the Pedro deal. Look, if you want to go and play for Everton football, then you have a screw loose at the minute, the way that club is being run. It's as simple as that. The way they are going at the minute, it would be madness to think that a player would rather go to Everton than Newcastle, given the situation with both clubs, Billy.
Yeah, and apparently they're linked with Shea Adams now for £25 million.
I've seen that, yeah.
I mean, if they want to buy a mediocre Premier League striker, fine. But, I mean, I guess it's the same as Chris Wood. £25 million for him, £25 million for Shea Adams. They're both mediocre strikers, aren't they?
Yeah. He's had a good start, hasn't he?
He has had a good start.
He has, but it's not a striker you'd want to kind of lift you up the table.
It's not a signing that would make you sit up and go, woo, I've got the fizz. You know what I mean? And it wouldn't be like that. Norvik makes a good point. Still think that there is still more to come and wouldn't rule out Maddison. Well, James Maddison has a twinge injury, apparently. And it seems to be that these players get these little twinges before they move clubs. So let's see what happens with that one. Ken says, I really hope Eddie doesn't start bloody Wood and hold Isak back. That's the stuff of bloody nightmares. Oh, by the way, evening, guys, and Toon Review family. David says, if Paqueta stays at Lyon, we could maybe go in for him in January for a reduced fee. Possibly, but the club have stated that they haven't been interested, Lee. They haven't had any interest in Paqueta.
But they never have, like I've just said at the beginning. It's a fan thing. And I get it because I've been there myself. I really want Paqueta myself. But it isn't. I can't see it happening. Yeah, I can't see it. And the whole thing with Maddison, I've changed the subject. The whole thing with Maddison, I was hoping the worst for Leicester, and it sounds bad. I was hoping Brendan Rodgers was going to get fired, and then there'd just be loads of people, an influx of people coming in for their players. I mean, why not? But yeah, that's not happened. So, but yeah, we're not signing Paqueta. I think people need to forget that. We're not spending 58 million on one player and another 60 million on another player. And we don't do business in January. The owner said they don't like doing business in January, and they had to do it to keep us up. And they did that. Yeah. I can't see them doing it again.
January is not the place or not the time to get. Yeah.
And who's to say it'll be a reduced fee in January, because there's a World Cup between then and now.
Well, players have won the World Cup.
He could have the finest World Cup of all time. And
that's going to be interesting. Yeah, exactly. I remember a few years back. Who was that? Was it Scalacci for Italy? He had a wonderful World Cup, and he was near enough unknown before the World Cup, and his valuation went up about 40 million quid.
He went to Juve. Remember him with the eyes?
Yeah.
Scalacci.
Yeah, massive. Looked like you'd been having some nights out with Diego Maradona a few times. But we don't know that for certain. That is just me saying it off the cuff. Norwick says he likes the In the Know T-shirts for Deadline Day. If you haven't seen it, I did post it on the Toon Review Facebook group, Instagram and Twitter today. We do have Not In the Know T-shirts, which we said we would get for Deadline Day, because we've always claimed that we're not in the know, and we always will. We don't mislead fans. We're not into all that crap. I know there's other channels getting the in the nose on just to try and talk about transfers and stuff. It's bollocks, man. But these, I was modelling the shirt today, and there it is. I think they're brilliant. Susan's done a fantastic design with them. She really has.
I have to wear them at the football match tonight.
But hopefully they will be going on the website as well for sale after deadline day. We're just waiting for costs to get quite a few of them made. But me, Billy, Alex, and Danielle will be wearing those on deadline day, and I believe Danielle's got a doctor's appointment on that day, Lee, so she'll be wearing a not in the no t-shirt to the surgery, which is it's quality, absolute quality. But yeah, Susan's done a really, really good job with that. Zishan, thank you for another £8.99 super chat. He says, I think with Dubravka's loan, we should charge Man United an extra 15 million quid if they survive relegation. Lee, I've probably reminded you of your lovely missus. Give her my condolences. I'm sure he will. Yeah, Dubravka's an interesting one, isn't it? Manchester United. I mean, listen, I put on Twitter earlier on today. I don't really understand it. You know, we're talking about a player who would, at 33 years old, maybe want to start more games now at his stage in the career, but he's going from one bench to another, Lee.
There's been some weird goalkeeping stuff like that in the past, though, hasn't it? I can remember Scott Carson when he went. Was it Manchester City he went to?
He's still there.
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Maybe they just really don't trust David De Gea, and I can see why. I can really see why. But what's he going to do? Just warm their bench up? I get it. I understand it. He wants to go to another Premiership club. We don't know what's going on in the background. We don't know. Maybe he's just literally not speaking to Eddie Howe with what's happened. But what can we do? We want the best players in every position, don't we? So Nick Pope's the better goalkeeper.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, Dubravka's agent came out, Billy, in the summer, didn't he, and said that, you know, Dubravka is wanting to be number one still. That's his aim. He wants to play football at his stage in the career, and he's not happy with sitting on the bench. So for me, the fact that he was missing last night, I know they said he had an illness. I don't believe that for a second.
No, I think you'll find he'll be the Man United Carabao Cup goalkeeper. I think you'll find he'll probably play a few cup games, maybe a few in Europe. But he's going to Manchester United for an improved pay packet. Let's be perfectly frank about it. You know, he's going to get more sitting on the bench.
Not going for Champions League football, is he?
Yeah, obviously not. But he'll get more on the bench Manchester United than what he will playing first team for us. So, yeah, it's all about money. And at this age, you can blame him. He's been a good servant to us. Despite him going there, he'll go with our good wishes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though great to see Isak at the club, I saw Zlatan spoke extremely high of him and recommended him to join us, apparently. Yeah, I've seen it. I did retweet that out. But, you know, if it was him, we don't know. But look, we know that Ibra thinks a lot of he spoke about him before in the past anyway, during the tournaments that Isak's been involved with for Sweden. So he does hold him very high. Jim says, excellent, even in all, excellent news confirming our new striker. Keith says, we may yet be in for a few further surprises. If perpetual NUFC fan, not Simon Jordan is to be believed, we could spend another 200 million immediately after Isak and not fall foul of FFP. Yeah, but as we've just said, we'll want to spend a bit more in the future windows. James sends love to Danielle. Evening, ladies, gents, and Paul. Thanks, Mark. Gary, good evening. Isak, lads, will Isak's arrival put pressure on Wilson for number 9?
Not this season.
Certainly not this season. But listen, it'll put pressure on him in a good way because we need that competition up front. There's no doubt about that, Billy, don't we?
I see Callum Wilson becoming an impact sub coming on after an hour. Reduces the risk of him getting injured just playing a third of the game. And what impact will be, whether he'll be happy with that, I don't know. In fact, I'm sure he won't be. But I mean, at the end of the day, he's the one that's injury prone. It's not anyone's fault. But that's football for you. He's had that many injuries. You can't be relied upon. And it's going to cost him his World Cup space, as I said last night, because Gareth Southgate can't pick him when he's, you know, a gamble on his fitness because he can get injured at any time.
Absolutely.
It's a shame, real shame, because he would. I think he would have been in it. A fully fit Callum Wilson.
Yeah. Ab says, where is Stato? Was looking forward to his graphics. Well, listen, he got back late from the match last night, obviously in Tranmere. Worked very early this morning. He's absolutely crashed out of energy. So he asked if he could step aside for this one, of course. There's no problem with that at all. Wilson out for a while due to hamstring again, looking to push for Isak against Wolves. Will you be flipping between yours and Baz's channel like you did in January, or have you gone your separate ways?
There'll be more chance of us slipping between our channel and the English channel.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So the answer to that is no. He's gone on to do his own thing. We do ours, and we go from strength to strength. Aquasia says, who starts when Isak and Wilson are both fit? Well, they could both start technically, couldn't they?
They could.
I mean, play one slightly wider than the other. It gives us an option. And that's what we've been crying for. We've been crying out for options.
That game at Everton last season or the season before, when Graham Jones was just coming, we beat him and played him off the park. We played three up front with Wilson on the right and it was Max on the left, and Mickey come through the middle last year, was that day?
Yeah,
and we were superb.
It worked really well, and Callum got a couple. Callum got two, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah,
so there you go. Wonder if Sam Fender is helping with the announcement video. I don't think so. I think he's going to have a concert at St James's Park sometime in the future. I think he was doing promotional stuff for that today, which is why it just happened to coincide with Isak coming in for a medical. Longstaff was terrible last night. Murphy wasn't great either. What exactly does Howe see in them? Lee?
We haven't got the team. We haven't got the squad in depth. Have we? We can't decide to bring on who we want. We've got to rest the players. I mean, after the absolute battle against Manchester City, we couldn't play Almiron from the start again. I mean, that was an absolute war against Tranmere last night. As much as we say, oh, this player was rubbish, the other player was rubbish, they gave a battle last night and they really did fight. I mean, Jamal Lascelles, everyone's calling, oh, he's rubbish, he's shit, whatever. The fact of the matter is, he broke his nose, stayed on the pitch and battled. I'm not sure I would have wanted my first team in that match last night. Not a chance. And they did us proud.
Stu says, Paul, I retracted that message and you still read it out. Nightmare. Yes, because you had a story. That's the reason I read it out, Stu. But just pulling your leg, buddy. Christopher says, you're probably right, but Trippier started it straight away against Cambridge. Yes. The last word there being Cambridge. It was an FA Cup in a game that we were supposed to breeze through. And unfortunately, we didn't. But Kieran Trippier changed the game, Billy, last night, didn't he?
Yeah, it was, I mean, Kraft didn't, nothing against Kraft because he did okay. But when he came on, he added a bit of leadership. That right-hand side where the balls were going, played for Miggy to run onto. Matt Ritchie can't run onto them balls anymore. He hasn't got the pace. And Trippier just played it to his feet and everything came naturally after that. Leadership, inspiration. I thought it was outstanding last night. Really was.
Absolutely. Cesre's had a bit of a story as well. Welcome new member Les. He's put less. Welcome to the Toon Review family. Then he tried to correct himself and put lesh, and finally got it right at the third attempt. Well done, Cesre. Not sure whether you've been wrestling with many sharks today, but it's clearly gone to your head. Bless you. JK says, evening. I've hit my like button. Thank you very much, buddy. Vortex says, worrying news on Wilson's hammy, estimated out for 5-ish weeks. Good job, Isak's here. Why are the media banging on now about how much we're spending? Still bloody less than Forest this summer. Also, no one bats an eyelid if Man United or other folk fork out 60, 70 million on one player. Look, it's always going to be the case. It's fine for Man United to spend 60 million quid on what's his face? Casemiro, you know what I mean? And he's 30-year-old. But it's fine. It's Manchester United. They're allowed to do that. We're not,
Well, apparently they're on the verge of signing Anthony for 80 million, so that's 150 million pounds for the two players.
Exactly. Chelsea putting in 60 million pound for Scarecrow. I mean, it's just unbelievable. But no, because it's us, of course, it's not allowed. But you know what it is? It's tough shit. Deal with it, motherfuckers. Carl Freeburn, thank you for your £6.10 super chat, mate. You're mentioning the fact that our squad is not enough in depth, but we won't do January business. If that's the case, 2 more in this window won't be enough. He's also sent in another £6.10, saying, I still think they will spend in January, but obviously not like they do in the summer. Interesting.
I think it depends where we are in the league. I think if we need a little push to get us up the table a bit, trying to get us into the top 6, then I think I'll do it.
Well, that's what January's all about, isn't it? For last season, it was getting us out the dog. And this season, it may be pushing for Europe the way we're going. Douglas says, good evening, everybody, and to all on the Toon Review team. Apparently, the reason IMAX stats weren't great last season is due to the fact that Real Sociedad's injuries in midfield, 40 goals scored. Yeah, they did have a problem all over the pitch, to be honest. But there you go. If Paqueta is as good as people think he is, let him go to West Ham and audition for a move to us when we overtake West Ham to the Champions League. Interesting. Mrs. Toon Review in the house. Good evening, Susan. Chris Wood has scored 5 goals in his last 4 appearances against Wolves. Yeah. Moving on. Kendo says, exciting signings en route. You can see the strategy coming to fruition. The next wave of young talent, says Kendo. Absolutely. Mark says, good afternoon, all the way from Jamaica. Oh, you lucky bugger. I just imagine him sitting on the beach now with a nice cold one. Sand between his toes.
We couldn't even cope with our temperature, let alone.
A few herbs in the air.
Herbs? Billy.
Them Jamaican ones.
Yes. Steve says with 5 subs as well, we'll be able to manage Wilson's game time much better. Could play 45 minutes and then take him off if we need to. Yeah, but listen, we could do things very, very different. Carl, thank you for another £6.10. But if our second string can't hang with Tranmere, then we need more, surely. And I'm not trying to be greedy. Rome wasn't born in a day.
Missed the word out there, Paul.
I know, for obvious reasons. Behave. David says, Man United spend 60 to 70 million pound on players. They won't be able to sell Casemiro. Somehow that's okay. But we buy a young 22-year-old striker, and it's looked at incredulously.
Excellent point. There's no sell-on value for Casemiro. There's lots.
Of course, there's not. Absolutely not. But apparently, Real Sociedad have asked for a percentage of the sell-on, which is goes hand in hand with a young player.
Now, don't they?
Absolutely. Matty says this Sunday is a good opportunity for Wood to show Eddie that it's right to start him. But then again, I thought I just saw a pig fly past.
Exactly.
Look, Billy, we did say at halftime yesterday, right, that Chris Wood, he needed to play well in that game in order to push himself to give us fans a bit of confidence that when he does come in, we can rely on him a bit more. And we also mentioned the fact that he needs to move towards the ball instead of the ball coming to him. And that's exactly what he did for his goal. It was great movement, brilliant corner from Trippier, whipped in with pace. Wood runs to the ball, heads it brilliantly. That's what we need to see.
Unfortunately, it's about the third time he's done it since he's been here in January. Yeah. That bit of movement is usually static and easy to mark. No near post runs, generally goes to far post. More chance of the ball being cut out. But I thought after he scored, actually, I thought his game improved. And he seems to get like that, doesn't he? He scores and his confidence seems to go.
Yeah, but then he missed that simple one-on-one. But then again, he was pulled back. If you look very closely.
He was, yeah.
At the point of shooting, he was pulled back. So maybe another penalty we should have had, but there you go. Wacky wants to know if there's any news on the Kraft injury. I haven't heard anything.
Nothing yet. I've just had a look before.
Maybe Eddie Howe will let us know in the press conference tomorrow what's going on with.
It takes a couple of days, doesn't it?
Yeah, but we'll probably say he's gone for a scan and we're waiting on results, which is what he normally says, just to keep things nice and quiet. 5 subs is what Steve Bruce calls lunch. Yeah, Roy says Gale was the snitch. Indeed. Hi, Paul, Billy Lee. What a marquee signing. That has made a statement to the Premiership. We've got that we've strengthened everything on the pitch. Hope Wilson gets well soon. Wow, Stato, you look different, says Charlie. He does. He's still got the glasses on, but he's sort of thinned down in the facial area. Is Pedro from Watford off now? No. No, it could happen. Look, who knows?
From what I've read, it's still on. It's been accepted. I think I don't know what Newcastle are doing. Obviously, they're spending all this money on Isak, aren't they? So they might be thinking twice.
I mean, listen, has anybody thought the fact we could? I said this last night. We could make a double signing. They could be just waiting to announce Pedro with Isak. You just never know. Pedro could have had his medical done down south. Who knows? And they could be waiting to make a double announcement. I mean, that would be fantastic. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm saying.
Can you imagine a video with 2 signings? It'd be absolutely brilliant.
I'll tell you what, we may not have made our marquee signing yet. 7 days to go.
Hey, you never know. David Smith, thank you for your £4.49 super chat. He says, respect to you all on this channel. A few weeks back, Alex said all transfer work would be done under NDAs and that the club will do the right thing.
And that wasn't in the know.
and that was not in the know. That was Alex just making sure that everybody was aware that NDAs could be signed as soon as discussions start.
And he was right.
Mm-hmm.
This could have happened with Isak because I don't think it's just been discussed at the start of the week. As I say, I do know that Dan Ashworth was going to Spain on Monday before Wilson got injured. But I think Lee's right with what he said earlier. I think the fee has just been give us a kick up the arse to get him done because of Wilson's injury. But there you go. Ian says, loving how tight-lipped NUFC are. The in-the-nose can take their faces for a shit. Johannes says, can we talk about Joe Willock out-of-form displays that has been shown since the... he played well last night. He played well against... listen, Willock, for me, what we need to see is consistency for 90 minutes. Lee, I think that's fair to say, isn't it? I mean, he played well last night again, but he did tire.
You had to be tough in that midfield last night.
Pillar to post, to be fair.
That's exactly what I'm saying. You have got to be tough in games like that. I mean, a Wednesday night in Tranmere says it all, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. They were trying to break our players' legs, and Willock was running through them. And there was a certain point that was absolutely amazing, and it was when Trippier played that through ball to him, and he just couldn't get enough onto it because he just exhausted himself for how hard he worked.
Yeah.
He look, I've mentioned it many times before. He gives you that Chris Waddle kind of feeling, Waddle used to walk around the pitch as if he was just knackered and couldn't be arsed. And then suddenly he gets the ball and he springs into life. And Willock does it. Seems like Willock does everything in slow motion.
He had a little Gaza moment as well.
And I think that's the type of player he is, and that's the type of player we've got to, as fans, get used to seeing, because he is effective when he's on his game. There's no doubt about that.
The only thing that's missing from Joe Willock's game is goals at the minute, and because he went that consistent with goals per game at the end of the season before last, he's gone off through the end now and he's not scored enough. But it'll come. He's one of the best finishers in the club.
As soon as the first one comes, he'll start flying in. I guarantee.
I agree.
Yeah, like diarrhea. Once the first bit comes out, you can't stop. We all know. We've all been there, guys. We've all been there. So don't look at me in shock and horror. We have all been there after a dodgy curry or something like that. When the first one goes, the taps are opened and the brown rain begins.
Why did you follow through on that?
You see, yes. Key 88 says, hope we piss Man United about Dubravka. Yes. Tiger says, I hope we get one more big signing before window shuts. Still need that creative midfielder. Keith says, I had you all the way through the match. Your comments of the match was spot on. Very dirty players in the Rovers camp, but they're lower league players, but could have taken 3 of our players out. Look, Tranmere had to go for it, and their style was to go for it in the way that they normally play in the EFL, in League Two. It's very much a war every game. So for me, I don't have a problem with the way Tranmere played, but I do have a problem with some of the tackles. Yes, by all means, get stuck in and be a bit rough, but trying to break somebody's leg last night, I mean, and then the Tranmere manager's comments were just farcical.
Yeah, never a more aptly named man was that, Mickey Mellon. It was pathetic. Yeah. I don't blame Tranmere at all, and it was actually, who I do blame is the official, Mr. Backhouse. He was awful. Didn't control the game at all. 1 yellow card in 90 minutes when you could have had. You had a broken nose. You had a man stretch it off. You could have had a broken leg for the goalkeeper. 1 yellow card in that game. Pathetic.
Yep. Paul says, I don't think we've paid extra for Isak, actually. Why would we if we had Carlos and Pedro also lined up for less money, unless Isak was the club's number one priority for a striker? The thing is, that's what we will never know. And, if he was number one, all these other names that have crept in are media attention and in the know pushers, So who knows?
It's just my guess. Yeah,
I quite like it like that anyway. Ab says, I don't think Isak is a panic buy. You don't panic buy marquee signings. It's a very good point. And I'm with Abs. I'm with Abs on this one. I think Newcastle have planned. Newcastle will have been in discussion about this player for some time. I really do. Stu says Everton are going down. The links will ramp up as we get closer to the deadline date. Yes. Steve says, if a player is daft enough to want to play for Everton, we wouldn't want him anyway. Good point. Michael says, hi, lads. Love the shows. Just asking, is Isak deal a payment structured? Do you think another big signing could be coming in? I don't think we'll know this. I don't think we'll find out if it's a structured deal till later on and down the line. But that seems to be the way Newcastle have gone, Lee, in bringing players in. They seem to prefer the structured deal again to sort of balance off FFP for now.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to the sponsorship as well, doesn't it? They're being very clever how they're doing things. They're not going in and spending loads of money. And the whole thing, when you hear football clubs say, oh, they're paying £60 million in cash. No, they're not. Nobody's doing that. Nobody can afford to do that. Look at Chelsea. Chelsea have taken a massive loan out, and people don't realise that. But when you read into it and actually see all the facts of how they've done it very clever. And that's why maybe our owners had gone to see them at Stamford Bridge. They're learning from people, and they're growing relations with other clubs. So that's how we're learning.
Susan says, nice to see you on, Lee. Bill says, and how is it these negative people have all of this information? Not. Problem is that everyone has an asshole and an opinion.
That's right. But what I will say, there's only 7 days of it left, because a week tomorrow, these are in the nose, are redundant for 3 months, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they can shut up for a while. Sell wood to the skip rat, says Brendan. Andrew says, my prediction, Dubes goes to Leicester in a part cash deal for Maddison. I don't know, because he's in talks with Man United now, isn't he? He's well down the line with the talks. So
yeah, it's
interesting. Very interesting. Right, we'll turn our attention slightly to the game on Sunday. Wolves have been a bit indifferent at the start of this season, Billy, haven't they?
Yeah, Lars is trying to change the style of players, and he's threw away the three at the back and gone to a flat back four, hence why Cody's gone to Everton. They're trying to change the style of play more, but the same old problems are resurfacing. They don't score enough goals. Until they address that, I think they're just going to be a middle of the table side. Should be one for us to go and get 3 points from if we can win the battle in midfield. Yeah. I'm hoping so. I mean, I don't see any reason why not.
I mean, I'm pretty confident for the game. I really am. I think Wolves will struggle to put up with us. I like the way we play, and I like the way we go at teams. Even against Man City on Sunday, we had a damn good go at them. We attacked them. We caused them all sorts of problems. And there's no reason, Lee, that we can't actually do that again on Sunday.
We will, no doubt. We'll be in their faces. We'll be going for it, because we're like literally flying at the minute. Look what we've done at Manchester City. And Eddie Howe, I guarantee you, he'll be saying, get at them. Be like wasps. Every time when I say wasps, I mean when there's a player on the ball at the back and they're passing it about, we've got one player sprinting at them every second, and we need to keep that going, because if we keep that going, every team is going to struggle against us. And Wolves are really, really vulnerable at the minute. And I don't think people realise, Wolves realised, apart from maybe the fans, how much they miss Conor Cody, because he's an old school centre-back. He's not like a modern footballer. He structured it. He kept it going in midfield, in defence, sorry. And they're going to miss him.
Royce says, Sean Casey said he's closing his account if we don't sign Paqueta.
I believe it when I see it.
Fingers crossed.
He probably said, I'll keep the account open on another post if we don't sign Paqueta, because that's what he does. He creates opposite illusions. He'll say one thing a week later, he said the opposite. So he's going to be right somewhere along the line.
Whatever the news is, he goes along with it, basically. I'm fed up with it, to be honest. I really am.
Just don't listen to what he says.
Yeah. Only time you want to do business in January is either outgoings or players nearing the end of contract negotiations. Yep. People still banging on about Paqueta. The bloke was never linked. Had he not been Bruno's mate, no one would care. I genuinely believe that, if nobody heard of Bruno, if Bruno had come to Newcastle but wasn't mates with Paqueta and wasn't sort of, Paqueta didn't come to visit
honestly
them.
Hear of him? Did you two
I've
hear
never
of him?
I've never heard of Paqueta, no.
I never did.
I have to say.
Through FIFA.
Yeah, through FIFA.
Well, yeah.
Playing a video game.
Yeah. Right, Wolves, I've done a little bit of statistics myself again, like I did for the Man City game. Newcastle, Wolves against Newcastle, head-to-head. This is including FA Cup and League Cup as well. Wolves have won 42. Newcastle have won 33 with 28 drawn. The last meeting at Molineux was, of course, Wolves winning 2-1 with a Jeff Hendrick goal for Newcastle. But that was... still lives in the memory for many different reasons. Billy, shut up. £6.10 for a start. Getting drenched at the ground. having to dry off in Asda's restaurant or cafe. Certainly wasn't a restaurant. What else was there? Oh, yes, a speeding ticket on the way home, which I did pay, guys, but I got refunded. I don't know why, because I kicked off about it, and I got a refund about a month after I paid it. And then, yes, an absolutely awful display. The final game of Mike Ashley's tenure as Newcastle United owner. We weren't to know that. We did a fan forum a couple of days after the game at Molineux, and it was like a counselling session for some people, because some people had just had enough. And then the next night we were doing a takeover show, which the whole thing was just bizarre. Now in the Premier League, they've met 14 times. Newcastle have only won 3. Wolves have only won 2, with 9 draws. 9 draws in the Premier League in the 14 meetings that we've had with them in the Premier League. We scored 19 and conceded 16. And our last Premier League win at Molineux was on the 1st of October 2011, a 2-1 win with goals from Demba Ba and Jonas Gutierrez. So we haven't won there for what, 12 years, 11, 12 years now, which is, it's a long time, Billy.
Yeah, I mean, at one time we had a bit of a hex on them, but the relegation season, I think they beat us twice, didn't they? Then since then, it's been a load of 1-1s, apart from last year when the young South Korean Wang took us to the cleaners, didn't he? If I remember rightly. But yeah, you know, Wolves really they've come up with leaps and bounds. They used to be a yo-yo side, up one year, down the next, a bit like Norwich and Watford, them kind of teams. But they're built on that. They're built a steady club now. Maybe through dodgy means. Let's just say that with the Portuguese signings and what have you. But they're not a side that you think are ever going to progress. They're just going to stay where they are. And at some stage, they're either going to go up or down. And I'm not sure which. But yeah, as I say, I think we've overtook Wolves now in the league position wise. I think we're better.
Well, they're very well supported by the Kingdom of Portugal, aren't they? So
absolutely,
yeah. Samsonite says, by the way, it's Isak, not Isak. If people are interested in pronouncing it correctly. Well, I think it's Isak. It's not Isak. Definitely not Isak. It's Isak, not Isak. His last name, it's AK. It's not Ag. But it's definitely not Isak or Isaac. I've heard many people pronounce it today Isaac, as in Chris Isaac. It's not. It's Isak. But there you go. But what the hell? Dubravka maybe wants to sign off his career in the UK with European football, and playing for Man United is something nice to look back on, regardless of the current form. Well, if he feels like that, then sod him. Because we all know that Manchester United are a horrible football team, horrible football fans, and don't have any respect for anybody else. Self-righteous bar stewards is what they are. But hey ho. Yeah, Lee, just confirming there, Dele Alli has gone to Turkey to play for Besiktas. A 1-year loan. I find it staggering what's happened to him. He's just.
What is he doing?
I don't know. It's sad in a way. He had a lot of.
How old is he? 26?
Potential. 26, 27. He's not that old. But his career's gone down the Swanee for me, and no chance, Billy, for England.
It's ever since Mourinho went to Tottenham, isn't it? Because before that, he was a regular in the England side. He 2018 World Cup, he was just a massive part of that side. And then Mourinho went to Spurs, and his career's gone on the piss ever since, let's be honest.
And everyone called Mourinho for that, didn't they? Yeah. Saying, no, you've dropped Dele Alli, what you're doing, and now look what's happened.
Absolutely. So, are we expecting a draw on Sunday, given that 9 out of the 14 meetings have all been draws? But I think this is a very, very different Newcastle United that's going to Molineux this Sunday than what went to Molineux last year, Billy.
Yeah, I think the draws the very least we'd accept. I'm expecting 3 points, if I'm perfectly honest. Wolves are a very good side, play some nice stuff. They just don't score goals. We do all that, but we score goals also. I'm expecting Isak to play because I think he suits the model more than Wood does with the pressurising. Wood doesn't do any pressurising. He's not got the pace to do it. So I think Isak will actually play, if I'm perfectly frank.
You think he'll start?
Purely because he fits the model of the team with the pressure. This one doesn't.
Interesting. Toon Review started us this evening. All hope we're well. Having a night break has been overly busy this week. Hope for 3 points, and I'll be back tomorrow for TTR Friday. Dubes couldn't play last night. It would have made him cup-tied if he goes to Man U. That's another good point. Alvin says, if Wilson isn't happy about it, too bad. He's 30 and he's always nicked. If you don't like it, lump it. Listen, I'm not having to go with Callum Wilson. It's not his fault. You know, it's not Callum's fault he gets these injuries. But I just want to see us go at Wolves again. I want to see us have a real good go at them and cause them all sorts of difficulties, you know, and make sure that we put them right in the crap from the word go. By the way, I'll be back in a second.
He's into his counter again and getting stuff out again. It's going to be a shirt, I think.
He's got 15 shirts.
We're giving this one away tonight, which is the 4th kit. This one is a 3XL. But again, take your pick on what bloody size it fits. We will be doing that at the end of the show. So if you're not a member, click on the membership, become a member of the Toon Review, and you'll be in with a shout of winning that shirt tonight. Because, of course, Rachel won the one, was it last night? It was on the fan forum. What night? No, Tuesday night. Bloody hell. Yeah, Rachel won that one. So that'll be getting sent out to her probably tomorrow or Monday. So get in with a chance of winning. You have to be a member. We'll do that draw at the end. Now, if we look back to the last time we won at Molineux, of course, we had Demba Ba up front. Gutierrez scored the other goal. Gutierrez was a wonderful solo effort, if I do recall. Where do you see, Lee, the game being won?
I think it's going to be a right battle because I think as soon as it starts going wrong for Wolves, their fans are going to be on their backs, aren't they? I mean, we haven't won a game yet. It doesn't take long for fans to start getting on players' backs. But I think we're going to be in their faces. I think it's going to be one goal in it. I think either they're going to nick it or we're going to nick it. And I think it looks like we're going to steal it. And I think we're just going to hold the ball. And I think we're just going to play tidy football. Yeah, I think we're literally going to nick it. And I think it's going to be an early goal as well. I really do. I think we're going to set the tone in the game. Yeah.
I mean, I think you're right about the Wolves fans. I think the will get on the backs if we score first. And I think if that happens, I think we could get 2 or 3. I genuinely believe that, but depending who turns up for the game, you know, we know we want to see the same sort of commitment from Maxi. And I think, to be fair, from what Kieran Trippier said about him, he's keeping him sharp, and he won't let Maxi step down a gear. He'll keep him in top gear all the way through. And I think that can only be a great thing for us.
He's got the World Cup on his mind, hasn't he? So.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you know, there's a lot to play for. Maxi wants to get into that French squad. And if he keeps playing like he did against City, he's got a massive opportunity there because he will have to be noticed. Thomas says the one thing I miss is the 4 horsemen of the Toon. Really cracked me up when you guys did it. Yeah, but unfortunately it went to somebody's head and thought they were too big. But never mind. Tiger says we've gone from Bar, Cisse, Remy, Riviere, Mitro, Gale, Hosselu, Rondon, Wilson to Isak. Amazing. Yeah, it's just an all-round turnaround. Mike says, does anyone know, excuse the lack of Isak knowledge, but does he press and have a high work rate alongside his other attributes? I believe he does. But like I said, once he's confirmed as a Newcastle United player, me and Alex will do the same sort of thing that we did on Sven Botman. We'll do a live show and we'll tell you what he will bring to the side. Which is going to be brilliant. Gary says even Wilson said he wanted competition for his position, and now he's got it. All looks well for the future and for the Toon Review team. Thank you, Gary. Ab says Lee is doing a cracking job covering for Danielle. He certainly is. Toonami says, that cup game was like we travelled it back into the Ashley era. The dross in now on the bench, the shite he bought. Look, we know. It was very much, and I said that on commentary, you know, going back to the first half, it was like, Christ, we've stepped in a TARDIS here and we've gone backwards. But, you know, it is what it is. We got through. And many times before that, Billy, we may not have come through that game.
Well, there's no one on God's earth would have got through it last year. Let's be honest. You know, Steve Bruce wouldn't have been able to motivate the troops. He wouldn't have had Kieran Trippier to come on to motivate the troops. And we'd have probably got beat 2 or 3. Let's be perfectly honest. They wouldn't have been able to stand up to that physical barrage. And we'd have got beat quite easily, I think. But we're a different side these days, both in here and up here. So, yeah, it's all good. Eddie Howe's come along and changed the whole ethos of the club. We fight to the death now. but we also play a bit of football on the way. So these lower league sides, I don't think any John Killings coming our way this year.
Yeah. Hello, Les. Nice to see you on the Toon Review. Will you be a regular? Oh, hopefully you will.
Les.
I don't know. No, he became a member earlier on, didn't he?
He's quite close to the S, so I'm guessing it's Lee.
Yeah, reread it.
Maybe.
It is what it is.
You got to do what you got to do.
Exactly.
Time Lord 7 Boris, thank you for becoming a new member of the channel. Welcome to Members Club. And Mike Eddie, welcome to the Members Club as well. Thank you very much for becoming members. You were automatically into the draw for tonight. Seattle Geordie, thanks for your $6.50. For Paul, if he gets the urge to relive the experience, for your information, regular toll is £7.10, £6.50 Saturday, Sunday. Love the show as always. Thanks very much, Seattle. Unfortunately, I'm doing the commentary on the game. I'm not going down there. I'm actually going down there on Monday, funny enough. Me and Susan are taking the kids down to West Midlands Safari Park. So we're going on the Monday and we don't come back till the Wednesday. So I'm just informing Billy now that he is in charge of the transfer show on Monday and Fan Forum on Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
There you go, Billy.
Where are you stopping then?
It seems like a perfect time to drop that in.
Where are you stopping? Birmingham or somewhere?
West Bromwich, but it's more closer to Molineux, I think, to be honest. It's the same one I stayed in last year. It says West Bromwich, but it's literally 4 miles from Molineux, so it's
very
nice.
Close, to be fair.
Yeah, it is. There's a nice little lake around it, and a pub right next to it, so looking forward to it. But I may have to bring yours and Stato's shirts down because apparently there's postal strikes on over the weekend, so we need to make sure you get them. So
2 minute live with Billy for the Toon Review.
I may have to find may have to meet you somewhere, Billy, and hand you them, and then Alex can pick one up from you. But we'll sort that out. Don't worry. We'll sort that out in due course. Mike, thank you for your 10 New Zealand dollars. Hi guys, the $10 is for the 10 out of 10 show. Should I start rating you out of 1,000 next? Keep going, team. Thanks very much, Mike. Really appreciate that. January, we will most likely look to bring in squad players. Richarlison or Isak for 60 million. I know which one I'd take.
Every day.
Yep, you're right.
It certainly wouldn't be Richarlison.
No.
Samsonite Dave, thank you for becoming a new member. Welcome to the Members Club. Some of these may be renewals, but it obviously doesn't tell me, unfortunately. But thank you very much. Larry says, why and pay West Ham money? Rather just have him straight away in the Toon. Chipper says, remember saying Trippier's legs may have gone. He had been the best player in the past 2 games. Personally think playing for England over the summer hindered his recovery.
Didn't say they're gone. I said they're on the way. And he's defensively, he still isn't as strong as he was. But as a leader and as a footballer, he's still the same great player he was. But defensively, there's still questions to be asked, I think.
He plays more clever, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
He looks at the pass instead of trying to take the players on all the time.
He does get beaten for pace. There's no doubt about that. But he's still got the brain, and that makes a massive difference as well. Keith says, Paul, I love it. You really love War Woody. Okay. Who needs Jamaica when you have Costa del Blythe, says Tony.
Exactly.
Gary saying hello to Mrs. Toon Review. Paul says, I love being a country numpty, looking like Wurzel and that. It's mint.
What? Go between his ass kick.
Yeah. David says, some commenters last night loved the watch-along commentary and the use of the bell end used. I was in fits. I can't remember a thing about it, to be honest. Even the Toon Reviews, Mod Squad and Lee. So what do you reckon for Wolves? Isak in or subbed? I think he'd be sub. Look, I'd love him. Would I love him to start? Of course I would. But I don't think he's going to get much training with the team, to be honest, is he? And I mean, an impact sub against Wolves would probably be the way forward, Lee.
Yeah, he'll be in training tomorrow, I think. What player has Eddie Howe signed and started straight away? Unless it was a full-on emergency.
No, it was Kieran Trippier against Cambridge.
Even if he doesn't start Wood, couldn't he put someone else there? I think maybe he could. I don't know. See what happens. It's going to be interesting what he does. You know that.
And Billy, Wolves, obviously they carry a threat, don't they? I mean, I'm not sure. We just had another new member, Keith Lyons. Welcome to the Members Club. You go into the draw straight away as well. They do have talent. There's no doubt about it. I think Hwang certainly made an impact last season against us, but he seems to have gone off the boil.
Yeah.
You know, they've obviously got Jimenez. I'm not sure what the crack is with him at the minute, but they do have some decent players, don't they?
Yeah, Jimenez made his comeback from injury on the Carabao Cup Tuesday, so maybe he might start. You've got the likes of Neves in the middle of the park, who's an excellent player. Trincao on the wing is a good player, and a very physical side also. They don't let you away without a few kicks, especially if Willy Boley's playing. I think he's one of the dirtiest players in the league. But yeah, they offer a threat. It's just they don't score. They just don't score enough goals. And I hope I'm not tempting fate here, but yeah, if Jimenez is back, they're obviously much more of a threat than it would be without him.
Interesting. Gary Stephen, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much for becoming a member of the family. I think it's perfect for Isak against Wolves. Gary definitely should be starting, in my opinion. Paqueta to West Ham has never been on. Bid has to be accepted first, and that's 2 bids rejected now. Keith said last night's game was Chris Woods' level. He's not good enough for the Premier League standard. Okay. Ken says, I hate to think this, but is Callum's career coming to an end? His body will just not hold up to professional football now. Now, Billy, we did say this, or I did say this on the review last night, that there was a possibility that I think, you know, and I don't want this to happen, but is his injuries going the same way as a Michael Owen? You know, like his muscles just wants to start going all the time. They can never repair because he's getting older.
Yeah, it's a shame. You can't get a win of games of more than 4 or 5 games without it going. I think we'll have to manage him more in a substitute role now. As I said before, impact sub coming on an hour, 70 minutes. Just manage him that way, because 90 minutes. And let's be honest, against Brighton, he really ran himself into the ground. Same against Manchester City. His body doesn't stand up to that kind of effort anymore, which is a real shame, because that's half his game. But
he does, because he relies on that electric pace, doesn't he, Lee? Just sort of getting on the shoulders of defenders and getting those through balls. And well, you know, if we play Chris Wood on Sunday, then that's the kind of run we're going to miss, because Chris Wood doesn't offer that. We know that, and that puts more reliability onto the likes of Maxi and Miggy, and we know that their shooting isn't the greatest.
Yeah, I mean, we do. What we rely on for Wilson's just absolutely phenomenal. He runs through, and he runs that fast. He does. He pulls up, and like Billy said, he is straining his muscles every week. And this is why he said back in January, we need another good striker, because he knows his position. He knows. Him and Eddie Howe have spoke, you guarantee it. Imagine what sort of I want him starting from the start. Everyone does. But imagine an impact striker. Imagine we're struggling to score a goal. We've got Isak on the pitch, and Wilson comes flying on as well. Like, we were struggling for goals against Nottingham Forest, and we could have potentially 2 world-class strikers up front near the end of games. It could be amazing.
Indeed. And I think, you know, just seeing how Wolves may react. I mean, where are Wolves in the table? Actually, I forgot to check after the 3 games. I don't think they've won yet, have they?
They haven't won, no.
So there is pressure on Bruno Lage as well as the manager, because they will get on top of him straight away if especially if we come out and score. I think that's what maybe Eddie Howe will be saying to the lads before they go out and play on Sundays. Get out there, get an early goal, shut the crowd up, because the one thing that was good at Wolves was the pre-match build-up. It gets the crowd going. And the perfect way to respond to that, Billy, is just get an early goal, kill the crowd off, and then play our own football again, and maybe finish by, you know, scoring 2 or 3 goals.
Well, they're currently 18th with 1 point, so they drew 1, which was the game against Fulham, and lost the other 2, so they're largely under real pressure. And an early goal against them, the crowd will turn. The players will get nervous. There won't be a 12th man for them, that's for certain. So the aim is to quieten the crowd and score early doors, and then the pressure's well on them. And if they, you know, if this continues, just kind of run, you know what happens with teams that on those kind of runs. The luck goes against you. Everything seems to go against you. And Wolves could be on for a long season if they keep going at this rate, because they're not scoring any goals, are they? 1 goal in 3 games.
Which is good for us, because let's be honest, you know, apart from Man City, you know, we are tight defensively, and you know, it's very, very difficult to stay 100% doors closed against a team as good as Manchester City when you've got Kevin De Bruyne putting balls through the eye of a needle that no normal player would actually see. the run of Bernardo Silva the other day. Nobody would see that. Robert Pyle, thank you very much for becoming a new member, matey. Welcome to Members Club. You are also automatically in the draw and also for future draws. Mike says Willock is still young. We need to remember this. Better players to learn off are around him and incoming. Can he make an impact on Sunday, Lee, do you think?
I think he can. Like Billy was saying before, he's due a goal. This could be another great time to get a goal, couldn't it? I mean, I think he was playing a bit different last night. I think he was holding the ball a bit more. He wasn't making as many runs. But with them weak at the back, who knows what could happen? We could be flying all cylinders and going for it. It's a type of game. It's just he's thriving for a goal. He really is. And hopefully we're going to see that little Maggie video again, aren't we? So
yeah, exactly. Josh says new Luke Edwards tweet saying Pedro Dealer's off. I wouldn't believe a word that craphead says, to be honest. Susan says, anyone having a curry? Enjoy. Funny enough, I had a curry for my tea.
That's why you were talking the way you were before then.
Indeed. Watch me. At 2 o'clock in the morning, you'll see a tweet from me saying the brown rain has just begun.
Just say you're in trouble and everyone will know.
I'm in trouble. Toilet rolls in the freezer. I'm in trouble. Ian says Isak is a quality signing. You're going to love him. Lewis says 70 million plus. That's a hell of a signing. Well, yeah, it's obviously 70 million euros, isn't it? And it's in our terms. I see Simon John says we can spend 400 million this window. Yep, but we're not going to. Yeah, hockey's a bit different, matey. Dirty players. Look, if that happened to Dubravka on the ice, he would have had his neck broken because he would have had 12 other hockey players jumping on him, bashing the crap out of him for injuring the goalie. So that's just the way things go. Yeah, exactly. Jordy Metal, thank you for your 20 quid super chat, mate, as usual. Fantastic donator to the channel. Thank you for your continued support, bud. Keith says, yes, it's been told is over the next 3 transfer windows. If it is increments indeed. But again, Blakey says it all. Luke Edwards with the shite emoji. There you go. Steven says the bid is probably what that loan we took out a few weeks ago was for. All quiet but busy in the background. That's a good point, actually. Can't Piff buy an MLS side and do what City did with Lampard from Chelsea?
I guess they could.
They could do what they wanted, to be honest. But, you know. Guys, we've got 1,000 people watching tonight, which is absolutely fantastic again. So if you are enjoying the show, please don't forget to hit that like button. It really, really does help us. I don't think people realize how much it is very important. It does put us up the search results. And of course, if you're new, we are very, very close to 13,500 subscribers already. Well on the way to 14K, which is fabulous. So if you haven't already, please do so and hit that subscribe button. It is free to do so. And of course, if you hit the notification bell as well, that will send you an email or a notification on your phone to let you know when we go live or we do upload a video. So thanks for that. And of course, you can get your merch well, we've got lots on there and lots more to come, and this is where to find them.
So let's get down to business. I've been waiting, think I wanna make that move now. Baby, tell me if you like it. Tell me if you like it now. I've been waiting, think I wanna make that move now. Baby, tell me how you like it. Let's get down to business.
So there you go. The toonreview.co.uk is your place to go for all your Toon Review merch, which we thank you for buying and supporting the channel. Paul says, speaking of Wood, I wonder if his presence in the changing room is something worth mentioning. Given his experience at lower clubs, just maybe that kind of experience is overriding his player ability. No, he's just shit. Scott says, I wonder if Miguel Merino had a word with Isak about coming here. I'd put money on it that he did. Of course he would have. Isak would have certainly asked him about Newcastle United because, you know, but the good thing is that Merino didn't have a bad thing to say about us and has made that public in recent weeks and months as well, which is great. Right, we are going to move on to picking the side and who we think will turn out for the Toon on Sunday. Lee, we'll start with you. What do you think your first 11 is going to look like, or what do you think you'll go with?
Yeah, this is a bit tricky one with potential injuries and we don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So I've gone with Pope in goal. I've gone Trips and right back. Fabian Shaw. Now I think Fabian Shaw just had fatigue on Sunday, so I think they were just resting him. Botman. Botman's a starter for me now, isn't he? He's
Mhm.
got to be. Left back's a bit tricky. Matty Target last night, we don't know what's going on there. I think it's just match fitness. That's all it is.
Mhm.
So he might start, but I think he might start and then come off quite early, maybe. So I've got we don't know Dan Burn. We don't know what's happening with his head injury. We don't know how long he's going to be back. I think he might be out. So I'm going to go with Matty Target. And there's also Mankio to think about. Willock. So I've gone with a 4-3-3 like usual. I've gone with Willock in midfield. Willock's got to start, hasn't he? I really hope he doesn't start Sean Longstaff because I don't think that does Willock any favours. Bruno, Joe Linton, Almiron, and I'm not going to be liked for this. I think Wood's going to start, and obviously the king, St. Maximin.
Interesting.
And Isaac
Billy,
coming on and scoring.
that'd be nice. It's Isak Lee. Don't say Isaac. Start singing Chris Isaac songs.
Any old Isaac.
I never dreamed that I'd meet somebody like you. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, moving
Not
on.
you. It's just the song's just dirge, isn't it? It just makes you want to commit suicide, doesn't it? It's fucking dreadful.
Moving on.
The video was a bit tasty when I was a kid. What was that model's name? Bloody hell, I can't remember her name now.
What year was that?
But he was
89, 88, something like that. 90 maybe.
It was
Twin Peaks, wasn't it? Something to do with Twin Peaks, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a bit of a heated video. I think no, it wasn't Elle McPherson. So who was that other model man? I can't think of her name now, but he was all over in the video. Anyway, Billy, your starting 11?
I'm going to say Pope in goal, back four, Trippier, Share, Botman. I think Burn will play. I think Target looked terribly short of match fitness last night, and to risk him from the start. So I think Burn will play, hopefully, with his Helena Christensen. Yeah, that's who it was.
Helena Christensen, that's it.
I think Burn will play if the concussion protocols allow him to. Otherwise, I think he may play Lewis, because I think he looked really good last night.
You think you play Lewis?
Yeah, I had a Target. I think he looks a lot fitter, a lot stronger, a lot quicker.
Tidy. He was.
Target, and tidy as well. I don't think Target. I think that dead leg was more than a dead leg. If I'm being perfectly honest, if he was fully fit, Target play, but I don't think he is. Middle of the park, same as Lee, Willock, Bruno, and Joe Linton. Almiron on the right, Maxi on the left, and I think Isaac will play through the middle.
Isak.
Call him Alex.
Come on, let's not be wrong on this channel, guys.
You know,
it is just
we just need to put him on
because every time anybody says Isaac, I'm going to have to sing, right? I'll never dream that I'd meet somebody like you. There you go. Jose said Dele Alli was lazy as fuck. I'm sure that's why he was dropped. Yeah, he did actually say that on the Spurs on the Spurs thing. Right. So my team is going to be Nick Pope. Right back here in Trippier, centre backs of Fabian Schär and what's that other bloke's name? Botman. I think I think those two are the long-term option for Eddie Howe. However, I do think he'll stick with Dan Burn at left back.
Yeah. I
don't necessarily agree with that, but I do believe that's what he'll do. I think he'll stick with him at left back. And maybe, Target will be on the bench. But do you know what? I agree with Jamal Lewis. I think, Eddie did make a statement at the end of last season saying he wanted to see how Jamal does and what he can offer. And he came on yesterday and my God, he was bombing forward a lot. He was getting,
I didn't even mention him before. And that just shows he was just comfortable in his position.
So I think he'll be on the bench as well. But it gives Eddie an option. Now he may just go and totally overrule that and play either Target or Jamal Lewis at left back. Now into midfield, I think he will play Willock again. I think that's why he was taken off early yesterday. He's getting games into Willock, which I think he wants to do. He wants to get him up to peak fitness. And games are the only thing that'll do that. You can train as much as you want, but your match fitness has got to be there as well. So I think, match fitness wise, I fully expect Willock to play. Bruno, Joe Linton, and then up front, Miggy, St. Max, and Chris Wood. I can't see him starting Isak. I'd love him to, but like I said, I can't see it. Not without any training. Even if he trains tomorrow, it's not enough for me. I think he'll start him on the bench. But listen, I would love it if he starts, right? Because it'll give the fans a lift. It'll give the team a lift without a shadow of a doubt as well. Especially people trying to play through balls for the striker, and instead of passing to a tree, they'll actually have someone who's like Linford Christie off the mark. So, that's my team, and I think. We all may be thrown off because we all know Eddie Howe keeps his cards close to his chest. Certainly gives nothing away when it comes to press conferences or anything like that. So we just have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Tom says there's a postal strike tomorrow, bank holiday on Monday. Indeed. So I think I might just have to, Big Scott says 3XL. How are you, man? I'm a medium at best, and no, I can't talk to ghosts. Listen. Get the sizes. I'm sorry, but listen. If you're a medium, then just wear it as pajamas or something.
I'm a medium, but I wear the larger tops. So.
Yeah.
What did he say, Sam? What did he say, Sam?
Sam. Sam. That's what I say in Susan's house. Whenever there's a noise or the door creaks, I'm always like, Sam. It's like, oh, don't.
Is there anyone here called John? Anyone here called John?
John. The most popular name on the planet, John, Mr. Brown. Yeah, interesting. Mind you, I do believe in all that shit. So Phil Gauss, thank you for your £2 super chat. Me, it's the right size shirt as well. Phil, are you a member? Because if you're not,
I think you had the symbol on him, didn't he?
Hey,
I think you had the symbol on him, didn't he? The little membership symbol. I don't know.
Oh, yes, he does. He is a member. Okay. Phil, you're in it to win it. We'll just have to wait and see when the draw's made at the end of the sure. I am very interested, says Renier, if ASM can keep this type of play up for most games. Yeah, he's shown what he can do now, Billy, and that's the thing. If he steps off the gas, it makes him look like a bit of a tool.
Not necessarily. Man City didn't double up on him, did they? In fact, they didn't single up on him at times.
Well, they didn't get a chance. I mean, even when they put 3 on him, he just blew past them.
But they were coming from deep. Kyle Walker wasn't playing as a fullback; he was playing as a centre midfield player. So he had all that space. And at times, John Stones was having to come over and cover him, and he was no match for Max's pace. I think you'll find Wolves will double up on him, but that'll free space for the people. And with the quality of play we've got on the side now, we should exploit that.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Prediction time. Now, Billy, what did you predict for last week against Manchester City?
2-2.
You went for a Desmond, didn't you? So you were right with the draw. I can't remember what Danielle went with. She probably went 5-0 Newcastle.
I'm thinking 3-2, I want to say 3-2. I can't remember.
She might have.
Because I'm sure she said I nearly got it right.
I'm not sure what Alex stated. I think Alex stated us to lose.
I said 3-3.
He put us right if I'm not anyway, but never mind. I went 3-1 to Newcastle, and at one stage I was correct. It was 3-1 at one stage. So I'll give myself 3 points for that, even though they came back to 3-3. There you go. Anyway, Lee, a prediction. Wolves away, Molineux, 2 o'clock kickoff.
Well, I said mine earlier, and I'm going to stick with it. I do. I think we're going to get a clean sheet, and we're going to win 1-0. But I think we're going to score early. And I think we're going to hold on. It's going to get a bit difficult, but Nick Pope, that's all I'll say. Yeah.
I mean, that is the confidence thing at the minute, is that we have a brilliant goalkeeper and a fantastic defence now. And let's be honest, we haven't had a fantastic defence for many a blue moon, even under the entertainer days of Keegan. Our defence would leak goals. There's no doubt about that. But now...
I'll say Saint's going to score the winner as well.
St. Maximin with the winner.
Yeah,
would be nice. Billy Bob Coleman?
I see maybe Wolves getting 1 because they've got some good players. If Jimenez comes on, he's going to be a threat. Troy always pays if he comes on. I'll say Wolves 1, Newcastle United 3.
3-1. Okay. So Lee's gone 1-0 Newcastle. Billy's gone 3-1 Newcastle. Do you know what? I think Foxy put in the comments before that that Wolves completely outplayed Tottenham the other week, but just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. So maybe they are one of these teams that just seem to they can play football, but it's all about putting the ball in the net at the end of the day, and that's where they're struggling. So I am going to go for a 2-0 win to Newcastle United. I think another clean sheet. I just think we've got what it takes to keep a clean sheet. Chris Wood's banging form. I'm talking about the former England goalkeeper there. Nick Pope's banging form.
You said it now. Well, said it.
I said it. There's no going back. But you know what? I think we can soak up the pressure against Wolves. I think we can. Wolves will come at us early doors. I've no doubt about it. But I think Eddie has this team built now where we win the ball back, we go for the throat. Where in times gone by, we've got the ball and we've just belted it up the field. And there's been nobody to hold it up. It's come back at us very quickly. But I think now we've got the likes of Miggy, St. Maximan, Joe Linton, Bruno, Willock, who can all bring the ball out. We don't have to boot the ball 50 yards up the pitch. We can go at them from the start, from as soon as we get the ball. And I think that's what we'll do. And goal scoring wise, Joe Willock and Chris Wood. Don't shoot me.
What, the goalkeeper, Chris Wood, or the
You're a funny fucker, Billy, aren't you?
We're not playing Tranmere now,
I know. But look, I like the way we play. I like the way we didn't panic against Man City when we went to goal down. We played some fantastic football, some of the best I've seen in a long time. Brilliant attacking mentality. And Eddie, to his credit, that's how he said he wants to. When he came to Newcastle United, he said that is how he wants the team to play. He wants them to go at them. He doesn't set up the win. He doesn't set up the draw. He doesn't set up the lose. He sets up to win football matches, and he goes out to win every single game. So, you know what it is? Chris Wood might not score. Isak could come off the bench and bag a goal, which would be incredible. And in fact, I prefer that. But I'm not bothered. I just want to see. I want to see us play well. I want to see us win the game. And if we win this game, right, it's a very, very difficult week coming up, right? Because we've got 3 games in a week. We've got Wolves, we've got Liverpool, and then we've got Palace. Is it? It's St James's.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very tough 7 days. So we've got to be ready for it, especially the trip to Liverpool on Wednesday. That's not going to be easy at all. But again, Liverpool haven't hit the ground running yet, so we've got an opportunity there. But it's going to be interesting to see how Eddie controls this game with Wednesday in mind as well. We've got to be seriously up for it. So, but we've got options. And it's interesting to see what will happen in the continuation of the transfer window, what's left of it. But just to let you know, guys, transfer deadline day. We just got a super chat from the Leeds United Ultras again. Do you still think Leeds finished 17th? No. We answered that.
I had them higher than that anyway. I think I had them about.
I'm sure I did as well.
I haven't said yet.
I want Leeds to be up the table with
Leeds, Brighton, Newcastle. I want them up there.
Yeah, Brighton. Oh, you've got family. Yeah.
Oh no, I don't. But I just because the top 6.
Oh no, they're Huddersfield, aren't they? I'll get mixed up there.
Huddersfield's, But I just want them up there. I just want us up there, Brighton up there. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see some different teams up there.
Yeah, it's nice to see. I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
100%. So yeah, I think deadline day. Those that don't know, we are live from 10 a.m. on Thursday morning, the 1st of September. 10 a.m. all the way through till the window closes. It's a long, long day. So all we can ask is for your support. We really do want as many views. Even if you're at work, just switch it on. You know what I mean? Have us on in the background. We will keep you up to date on everything on deadline day. We will be getting guests on. Roy's going to come on. Rob from Rubenstein channel, he's going to come on. Adam Pearson's going to come on. Just for 20 minutes, half an hour at a time, and just give us their thoughts on the transfer window and deadline day as we go through it. So we've got a lot coming up on deadline day, but the usual shows will be there as well. We've got TTR Friday tomorrow night. Really looking forward to that again. Going into the weekend with a good laugh. Sunday, of course, we've got the watch along starting at 1:30 with me. Half an hour build up to the game to go through the team, etc. 2 o'clock kickoff, full commentary of the game with myself. And then at 7, we'll be getting Billy and Alex on at half time for their thoughts, and of course full time as well. Possibly Danielle if she's up to coming on. And then 7 o'clock on Sunday night, we've got the review show of the game. So we'll look back, we'll have a chat about the game, the tactics, the formations, and of course player ratings. Monday night will be the transfer show with Billy and Alex, and Tuesday night with Billy will be the fan forum. And then we'll move further forward in the week after the transfer deadline day. So lots coming up. And, of course, there'll be recorded videos as well. Any news breaks, there'll either be a quick YouTube short, which people seem to like yesterday when I did the one on Isak. It's just a quick 1-minute video just telling you that there's a bid being accepted, etc. Or we'll go more in-depth on it, which we certainly will do on Isak if he once he does sign that name on the dotted line. So lots coming up on the Toon Review. So please do hit that subscribe button if you're new. All your Newcastle United news, breaking news, etc. right here on this channel with some great stats analysis, etc. And some great banter as well, which we are thoroughly looking forward to. And so please do hit the notification bell as well, which will let you know when we do upload or go live. And hit the like button. Please don't forget. Please don't forget. Anyway, it's time for the draw for this Castoria third kit. And a big shout out to Michael Marsden, who provided this for the giveaway. And, of course, you have to be a member to be in it to win it. So let's go. Billy, count down.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Let me sound effects. We're spinning. We're spinning. We're spinning. It's slowing down. I'm just trying to make it a bit more tense. Phil Gow.
No way.
Yep. I don't bloody believe it. Phil Gow, you've won.
Where's Chris Banks?
I know. Well, if he's in the chat, he'll put fix again, but never mind. Phil Gow, you are the winner of this shirt.
Well done.
Congratulations, matey. And before anyone comes at me, it is done on a spinny wheel on the website. I have no control over it. So people who want to throw fix at me can throw fix at me all they want. But that is Phil Gow. Well done, matey. If you can send me your address, Solely wants an independent adjudicator. If you can send me your address, please, either on Phil says, nice one, Dad. If you can send me your address, either the email address is at the bottom of the description underneath this video, and of course you can contact me on the Toon Review Twitter page or Instagram. Facebook's a little bit difficult to send personal messages, so if you can send it any other way, that would be great. But well done, Phil. We'll get that sent out to you along with.
Well done.
Oh, Phil says that's my son. Oh well, there you go. There's two. There's a Philip and a Phil. But Phil is the winner.
Phil Jr.
Jesus wept. Why are these never easy? These giveaways, man. Honestly.
Which part of New Zealand do you live in, Phil?
No, not this time. Anyone that throws fix at me, the last few winners have all lived in bloody America and Australia and New Zealand, which has cost a fortune in postage. But there you go. That's the way it works. But Phil, if you can send me your details, please, I'd appreciate it. Next week, we do have more giveaways. Excuse me one moment. We have this lovely shirt to give away.
Classic.
Which is a really nice shirt. And that one is a size XL. So it's a volleyball top for me. And of course, this has not been claimed and will go up again.
Loch Ness
shirt, which is a 5XL, which will probably fit a newborn baby.
Have you seen another kit? It's absolutely beautiful.
It's beautiful. Yeah,
oh.
It is really nice. So there you go. They will be given away next week. And of course, we will also have I have a Crystal Palace ticket to give away. So yeah, lots of giveaways on this channel, man. There really are. We're just there. We're right in the moment with all our giveaways. We're up there. John Joel, thank you for your £4.49 super chat. Should we sell Dubs for 15, 20 million and would love to get Pulisic on loan, then assess ourselves in January, hopefully in the Champions League draw next season? That would be lovely, John Joe. I really hope you're right with that. But there you go. So lots to give away next week as well. So stay tuned to that. But we will see you again at 8:30. No, 8, not 8:30, 8 on the dot for TTR Friday. And of course, the usual Danielle's rant, Billy's beef, Shane by Stato, comment of the week, and of course our brand new game show hosted by Scylla Coleman there. Pope or no Pope, which is the most ridiculous game on the planet. I hate it with a passion.
Danielle said she's retired as a winner now.
Yeah, bollocks, actually. The fact of the matter is, as a good Catholic boy, I'm shit at it. And God, my grandparents would be looking down on me going, shame on you, son. Shame on you. All those good Catholics in the family, and I can't even. Mind you, when you get a name like Pope Urban, for Christ's sake, I mean, what chance do you stand? It's just, what chance do you stand? But there you go.
You Catholics, You Catholics.
Don't you dig at Catholics, Billy Bob? Absolutely not. We are not going down religious aisles with this. Lee, you just want to say something?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone for the lovely comments, to Danielle. She's really appreciated it. She has felt the love from everybody. She's doing very well, and you will see her back on Sunday with a vengeance.
Brilliant.
Obviously being very good. No Man United stuff, but I can.
Great stuff.
Thank you, everyone.
Well, you've done a fantastic job standing in for it tonight, Lee, so I really appreciate you coming on, mate. Big shout out to Danielle and a big shout out to Stato getting his sleep and getting recharging the batteries, and we'll see Stato back for TTR Friday. Not sure Danielle's going to make it, but we'll sort that out in due course. But there you go. Thank you very much, Billy. Thank you, Lee. Thank you to the Mod Squad for another fantastic job. Thank you to all your super chatters again, absolute legends, new members, everything. Thank you so much for your support. We do like to just try and get as many comments on the screen as we can as well, just to make everybody feel part of the channel, which you are. It's one big family on the Toon Review. So thank you very much for watching. And we'll see you at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Look out for the video tomorrow for Eddie Howe's press conference reaction. And of course, if there's an announcement to be made, we'll bring it to you on the Toon Review. But enjoy the rest of the evening, folks. Good night.
How are the lads and lasses?
Take care. Thank you.